Today we're going to look at price channels, and we're going to start with a good basic example to illustrate the concept of this. And this is a very well-known stock, Amazon, which has been public since the mid-90s. And after its initial blast higher and diminishment after the internet bubble burst, it began what to this day is an enormous price channel, which is comprised of a couple of elements and sort of a derived element as well. Any price channel has a supporting trend line, a resistance trend line, and if you like, you can also have it automatically show a midline, which is basically the 50% point between each of those two lines. Now, as you can see here, this channel has been intact literally for the entire millennium. Amazon has never violated it, and sometimes it pushes up to resistance, sometimes it gets down to support, but overall, this time of about a quarter century plus, it has maintained its price within that channel. Here's another example, which is NetApp, NTAP, and once again, we had a situation where the price blasted higher and collapsed, and then for many, many years now, it has been ambling in a rather cyclic nature within this channel. So those are two examples of stocks which have very clean long-term channels. And the use for these as a trader is several-fold. First, if one is already in this position, and for the long haul, it might just want to stay put until such time it's violated. But for shorter-term traders, if a long-term channel has a price pushing up against resistance, that may be a good shorting opportunity or a good exit opportunity. Whereas if it's approaching support down at the lower portion, that might be a time to add more to the position or to go long the stock for the first time. But the touching of these is not guaranteed because you can get breakouts or breakdowns. The breakouts being bullish typically and breakdowns being bearish. So as far as a breakout, here's Bank of Montreal. And it too was in a multi-decade channel really for almost its entire existence. And it pushed above resistance finally here, and all that pent-up energy was released. At that point, the channel becomes irrelevant except in as much as the upper trend line changes roles from resistance, which it had been doing for years, to support. Here's a more dramatic breakout. This is a CDNS. So if we zoom into this portion, you can see that it was beautifully banging within the confines of this channel. It was exceptionally reliable for a long time. But then something changed around here. It broke out, and again, what used to be resistance is now support, and its explosion from that has been extraordinary. It had a multi-100% rise from that. So this was sort of the escape point from that channel. So this becomes a bullish breakout. Some more examples. Micron, very hot stock right now. Here is the channel, and I just note right here, strictly speaking, this isn't a perfect channel. An ideal channel has exactly parallel lines. This is close, but not quite. As you can, it is very subtle, but it gets a little tighter along the way. But the idea is generally the same of support and resistance and the breakout being right here. So as we zoom in, you can see this rather dramatic change take place after all those years of being inside the channel, and it finally cuts through it and has this incredible move higher with all that pent-up energy. And one final breakout example here is Rider, simple R, same idea. And this is particularly clean because this illustrates nicely that role change I mentioned. So here we have a breakout, and this line, which used to be resistance, is now support. So we break out, then we weaken, but look what happens. It gets a little bit below it, but on the whole, it finds support there. The selling stops, and then it resumes that uptrend. So that's a particularly good example. Now, of course, there are breakouts, but there's also breakdowns, and the exact idea applies just in the opposite direction. So here the supporting trend line fails, and the stock collapses, and here again, a terrific example of role change. So we have this plunge, and then a rally takes place, but does it climb its way back into the channel? No, it does not. What happens instead is that it gets very, very close to that former supporting line, which is now acting as resistance, and it tumbles away even harder from that. So you can see the complete change in character after the stock got out of this channel. Here's MIDD. This doesn't have the drama because it really just happened. This cracked below a channel that had been in place for decades, and it's trying to get back into that. But as you can see, time and time again, what used to be its supporting line is now acting as resistance. Another example here. Here's a failure. Blasts higher, like so. Gets close to resistance, fails, falls away, tries again, gets close to resistance, and it's beginning to weaken once more. So this, just as powerful as it's been to contain the prices, it's just as powerful repelling them once it's broken below that. And here's one other breakdown example, very well-known stock, Johnson & Johnson, decades and decades inside this channel. We broke below it, and even with this enormous rally, it is exactly touching the bottom of that. So one might take this as a bearish opportunity, or if one were long the stock, a good opportunity to get out. Of course, one stock does not just have one and only one channel. Sometimes you get multiple instances of channels, like in this case, we've got descending channels, multiple ascending channels, and so forth. And the longer you do this, the easier they become to spot. You can also get some rather complex situations here. So here, for example, is Northrop Grumman, NOC. And here's the channel here for many, many decades. And within the channel, this trend line here was supporting prices until this breakdown. And we got this very powerful point of resistance here, from which we have taken a pretty severe tumble already. So it's a good long-term charts. Here's another multi-pattern example. Here's Netflix. This spent its entire life inside of its own price channel, right from the IPO all the way up. And you can see here the midline played a role too, because it stayed above the midline for years and years and years, and it broke below the midline. And when it rallied, where did it find resistance? At the midline. So this midline can serve a double role as well, as prices oscillate above and below it. And then zooming in tighter, we had a channel within a channel, which itself broke here. And we've been tumbling away from that. So just to set up a few final examples here, here is XLU. And I show this to illustrate that over the long haul, sometimes one can look backwards and notice interesting price behavior even before the channel existed. So with XLU utilities, you had these two interesting patterns above the entire channel, and it really didn't get firmly established until this plunge after the financial crisis. And after this financial crisis, then we've been sailing along quite smoothly within the channel. And once again, the midline has an extraordinary role in this price, because you don't have to wait necessarily for support and resistance, those major trend lines. You can observe what's happening with the midline here, because it provided support all the way up, and it rarely, except for the COVID crash, even bothered going below that midline. Here's the diamond, DIA, after the financial crisis here. It has been in a beautiful channel with one very brief, literally measured in days, exception during that drama of the COVID crash. So just because something cracks a channel does not mean that's the end, that it's never going to see it again. This was an exceptionally odd circumstance, and it did crack it very briefly, but then went springing back into the channel, and it's been there ever since. And finally, the granddaddy of them all, the ETF Spider. This has been ascending since the early 2009. And once more, we've got the midline with a very important role. And at the moment, we are within the channel and even above the midline, although we are looking a little bit shaky at these price levels. So that's basically it. Support, resistance, midline, breakouts, breakdowns. Once you've got it plotted, it's pretty easy to follow.